Hello and welcome to Journey to a Dream. Thank you so much for downloading this episode. If you are new here, you are very welcome. Please do take a look at some of the episodes that we have, all featuring people who are passionate about motorsport and specifically passionate about motorsport here on the Isle of Man. And our guest today is no exception. He started road racing back in 2018, first raced over here at the MGP in 2023, and he had an absolutely cracking 2025.
Hello, I'm Ryan Whitehall, and I'm from the Isle of Wight originally, but I'm currently living in Northern Ireland in a little place called Armoy, and I'm racing my own bikes for a team, WR Racing, which is me and my good mate George. And we're competing a full season on the roads this year, and we're going back next year for another full season. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And Ryan, was the move to Northern Ireland because of racing?
Yeah, well, I've moved out there because I just thought I couldn't keep paying the ferries. The ferry from the Isle of Wight, I mean, they charge so much for it. So I thought, well, I'll move out there and then I can just drive up the road. So a good friend of mine, Susan, she let me live in her summer house for a couple of years, and I sort of did it on and off. And then I met my girlfriend Carol, and I thought I'll move out here for good. I think now's the time to do it. So I moved out here for good at the end of last year.
And how's it been going so far then?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I've got some work with Jason Morrow, a good friend of mine. He, initially I worked for Trevor Kane up at the Baby Hotel up in Port Ballantrae, and he was a big sponsor like William and people like that, and he looked after me for a little while, and then I started working for Barclays driving wagons. Jason Morrow, he got me the job there, and then I since moved down to Omer and was working for Alan Gregg at Schimel Distribution, so all road racing people, and got a bit of sponsorship on the way, which was quite nice.
So just take us back to when this all started for you then, Ryan. When did you decide that road racing was the thing you wanted to do?
I had a big accident on the road. I did my ACU licence. I did that, and then I unfortunately had a road bike accident, and I wasn't maybe doing exactly what I should have been at the time. Lost my licence for a year. And then I thought, right, I still wanted to ride. I'd done my ACU licence, so I went and started doing track days, and with the intention of always going racing and always going road racing as well. The dream was always to go and race at the Isle of Man and do the Irish stuff as well.
And was this something you grew up around? Are you a biking family generally?
Well, not really. I didn't really grow up. My dad would have taken me to World Superbikes and things like that, but then as I got sort of older, it sort of faded out a little bit. I did a tiny bit of motocross when I was younger, but mainly just around like the council estates and things like that, and was never really sort of in a position to go and do it competitively at all. So did it for just messing around on pit bikes and things like that as a kid, and then obviously you get a bit older, and I got a little DT50 when I was 16, and that sort of started it all back up again, and that was it. Then I basically, as soon as I got my bike licence, I didn't really care for much else. I wasn't that interested with school or work, and I was just off riding my motorbike everywhere. So.
And what did the family think about that?
Yeah, I don't know really. I think my dad, he come to a few of the races and I started out and he tries what he can, but I think he always felt a little bit like he planted the seed and it sort of snowballed a bit. And so I always feel a bit bad for my old man, especially when I smash myself up and things like that, because I think he always feels responsible, but he shouldn't. Like, by the time he'd introduced me, I'd sort of gone off it, and then it come back later in life on its own accord. So they always tell me, oh yeah, you need to stop, get married and have kids and all that, but that will come in due course. I'm quite enjoying racing at the minute, so.
So when did you start racing? Was it 2018?
Yeah, 2018. So I had my big accident 2015, and then I just did track days for a couple of years, and then me and the boys sort of were just messing around on bikes, and we went off to Europe and decided, 2018, that was it. I split out with a girlfriend at the time, and I thought, right, I'm going to go racing. Now's the time to do it. And yeah, ever since then, I've just been doing as much as I possibly can, like as much as I can afford. And
then obviously you do get into that whole world. And as you say, I mean, it always comes down to money, doesn't it? How did you find those early days and trying to get round to as many circuits as you possibly could to get everything you needed done?
It's meant I loved it, and I look back now, and funnily enough, I was looking through photos, it's like my Google Drive backup thing, and I look back and I just thought, bloody hell, I thought I'd be further ahead. Like my vans they actually look worse now, and the bikes look better, but the vans and all that, they look worse than they did then. So yeah, no, I loved it. I loved just loading a van full of bikes and beer and disappearing off for 3 or 4 days to the north of England or Wales or wherever we were going racing, and just crashing my brains out for a weekend. It was great.
And your early career included things like the Thundersport Series and then on to the Elite 600 class and things like that. And I guess when you do stuff like that and actually you have some success as well, it must kind of give you that validation that you think, well, I should probably keep going with this.
I always felt like I was on the back foot, but I think everyone's the same when you club racing. Everyone thinks they're the most hard up, and I was competing against people, and I always felt like it was a lad with more money than me that would beat me, but I don't think it's necessarily always like that. I had some really good battles, and it it would always be the freshman 600 year and my elite 600 year. Like both times it was always that one bloke I could never beat. There was always the bridesmaid, like I couldn't get to him, and then it would always be like the end of the year I'd beat him once, and it was like winning the senior TT to me. Like I was just so happy. I remember beating a lad called Sean Bailiff, and he's actually a friend of ours now. Like, but at the time the rivalry was intense, and we beat him, and it was the best day of my life probably.
That must be a really weird thing, when you go into all of these events and you do become friendly with everybody there, but then on the track, I guess it's a really different mindset.
Yeah, like, I've never really had that aggression. I think because I grew up pretty sort of like, I didn't start from a young age, so I never developed that you see a lot of these riders, and that's probably why they're better than me. Like you see the BSB boys, and some of them, like, I'm not bad-mouthing anyone, but some of them are so arrogant. But I think that's what it takes to win. Like I think you've got to be like that, and I've just never. I don't know. Like when I put the helmet on, I'm pretty friendly. Like I'm not battering people out of the way. Like if they want it, they can have it. But at the same time, I try my best to try and be quite respectful, and yeah, maybe never had that competitive edge that a lot of other lads have had.
Well, in 2021, you suffered a pretty significant setback because you had a very big crash at Armoy. What happened?
Yeah, no, it's a weird act. People can watch it on YouTube if they want. I sort of come over part of the circuit called Joey's Leap or Dunlop's Leap. It's like a motocross tabletop, but on an angle. And there's a good friend of mine, Owen Shot Crew, that made it all happen. So I blame him entirely. I was battling for the lead with him in the junior support, and yeah, we're actually not going to pass him. I was just setting a pass up to try and sort of do on the last lap of the race, and this was the penultimate lap, and I just didn't even brake for it basically. And it's the weirdest crash. People will have to watch it. I can't even explain it. It was a wild accident.
Yeah, and it left you with some pretty wild injuries as well. You had a smashed right leg with compound fractures, the ever attractive cage on that for, what was it, around 8 months or so?
Yeah, so because I did both my legs, so I did 3 months in a wheelchair, and then you got back up on your feet again, and then it was 8 months in total with the cage on. So yeah, not the easiest time in my life probably, but trials and tribulations of road racing. And
whenever I talk to anybody who's been through something like this, I always think if you could bottle the determination that you have in that moment to just get back out there, honestly, I think I could make a fortune, because you had your cage removed, and then what was it, 5 days later you were back on the track? Yeah,
it was wild. I'd love to write a book. I don't know if anyone would be interested. Like, no one knows who I am. But I was in the cage and I couldn't work. I'm a lorry driver by trade, so I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do anything really. And George got me some work driving tractors and stuff in the field. So I had nothing to do. So I got a loan out because I was skidding. I'd wrote my bike off and all that, and I was skidding. So I got a loan out and bought this Sprinter van, Luton box van, and I spent the whole 8 months, or as soon as I could start walking again, working on this van and kitting it out, and with the intention of moving out here and living in it. And everyone was saying, yeah, you'll never be back racing. It got to like 6 days before Cookstown and the cage wasn't off, and everyone was like, wow, that's it, you did your best. I just went to the hospital and that day or that start that week and said, look, either you take this cage off or I'm taking it off. So luckily they took it off, and battled with the ACU a bit, and then we got out to Ireland and raced at Cookstown.
And you did all right.
Yeah, it was a B race. I won the B race. I was chuffed to bits, and there was a lot of tears and stuff. But really, I felt a bit bad because there was lads in it who were there for their first time, and obviously I'd been there before, so I kind of did feel a bit bad that I took a win off of someone when I should really maybe been at the back of the A's. But that's just qualifying, I suppose.
Oh, absolutely. And I think given what you'd just been through and how much time you'd had away from it, that is just a phenomenal result. So obviously, always having had the Isle of Man in your sights, at what point did you decide that the MGP was going to be on the cards?
It always had been, and I'd never put an entry in because obviously that crash had kind of set me back a bit, and didn't really want to go before I was ready, and our bike maybe wasn't right, and that, I can't remember if I even threw an entry in and they maybe didn't accept it, but I just kind of didn't want the heartbreak of putting an entry in and it being refused. So 23 I think was my first year, wasn't it? So I'd done a full season on the roads in 22 and then threw an entry in for 23 and got it. So it was a dream come true for me. All
right, should we just take a break here to hear you back in 2023? You were talking to Carolyn. Let's just have a listen to this.
I was just talking to Ryan Whitehall, just asking him. I wasn't sure whether he was out in this session, but you're going out in the next session. You're looking forward to this one today?
Yeah, buzzing, I think. My mum's listening to this, so all right, Mum, love you.
Oh, that's great. Give your mum a shout out. And you're out on the 600, and have you done a few laps already? Or?
Yeah, it's a pretty scary old place. Like, I didn't think I went out for the newcomers laps, and I thought, I can't swear on there, can I? So, no. Yeah, well, that's what I thought anyway. I thought, I can't even hold on to the thing, and you're just bouncing off verges, but then the unrestricted lap is bang on, like, I was, flat ball.
It's very different when you're going not at full speed, though, because the bike suspension doesn't work properly and everything, and you do the Irish roads, but this is just something else, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the overall speed of this place. You get off and you feel like someone's been spinning you around for like 45 minutes, and all your mates are trying to talk to you, and you're just like, what are you going on about? You're still doing 150 mile an hour in your head. So anyway, we'll see how we go. I'll drink a lot of water, stand off the beer, and flat out.
Go and have fun. Thanks, Ryan. See you later.
What do you remember about that time, Ryan?
I don't think I made screwed on listening to that interview really, but no, it was it was wicked. Unbelievable experience. I wish you could take, like you were saying about bottling up the determinant. If you could bottle up feeling in the first laps at the Isle of Man, I mean, you'd be a millionaire, wouldn't you? That was awesome, absolutely awesome.
And in terms of any sort of surprises along the way, because as much as you can prepare for it and you do the newcomers weekends and whatever, I guess nothing compares to, like you say, sort of being there and certainly doing your first laps completely on your own. Was there anything that really surprised you from that?
No, not really. That was the average speed that messed me up. Like the max speed, I'd already done the Northwest, so Selby Straight and things like that. It's not really any different to the straights at the Northwest. In some respects, places like Kells or Skerries are probably more crazy than a lot of the places on the Isle of Man. But it was exactly what I expected it to be, and I was just nothing sort of jumped out as being particularly unsafe or dangerous to me, but just the average speed, I couldn't get my head around doing 100 mile an hour plus for like so long. For 20 minutes or whatever. It's crazy, isn't it? Your brain can't keep up. It's not designed for that.
And what about the whole atmosphere, the paddock life and just everything that goes with it? How did you find that?
Yeah, I loved it. Like, I wasn't really sure what to do. I'd done the Southern, and I don't go now. It scares the life out of me. But I'd done the Southern, and I maybe didn't fall in love with it, the Isle of Man, as much as I should have. And then I come back for the Manx, and I just hadn't looked or been or seen and done anything, and I'd spent a lot more time, and now I'm totally in love with the place. Like, I love the Isle of Man, I love the people. I've met a lot of good friends over there now, and the paddock is just fantastic. It's such a nice place to be for 2 weeks of your life with all your mates. It's like having an extended family that you go and spend 2 weeks with. Yeah, great, I love it.
And I'm really interested. So you said the Southern scares you, but the MGP doesn't really scare you as much. Why is that?
I don't know. The Southern, you'd think being mass start, I'd be used to it with the Irish stuff, but I don't know what it is about the place. I don't know. I think it's probably more dangerous. I would go back, I think, but for me, I don't know what it is. It just keeps me up at night. Every time I go, I'd never sleep. I think it's because you slow down so much. I think for me, there's more chance of being sort of maimed there, whereas if you get it wrong at, the mountains course, it's game over. Whereas I think, that sort of scares me more. I think, having a slow crash and really injuring yourself.
So then that MGP newcomer year, 2023, you finished 23rd in the senior. You came back the following year. You finished 10th in the senior, 17th in the junior. We know, obviously, the weather was utterly rubbish for last year. You were invited to race at Macau last year, but again, that was a weather issue, wasn't it? That must be so gutting when you're looking forward to something like that, and then something that you've got no control over, it really puts the kibosh on it.
Yeah, it was, never even expected it. It wasn't even on my radar, really, the Macau. You kind of see all the boys that go out there, and, the Sweeneys and the Shields and Dunlops and people like that, and you think, well, that's obviously not for me, But then after COVID, I don't know if they had like a bit of a change of heart with the entries, and I got the chance, and I've got a rider to thank for that. He said he didn't want to thank him, but there was an older rider that was responsible for getting me there. And it was a dream come true. And even though the weather was rubbish, it's still amazing that I got to ride around there at speed for at least 5 or 6 laps before the weather ruined it.
And are you going back this year?
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get the entry, and I kind of texted Bonnie and said, any chance of getting in? She said, you're on a reserve list type thing. And I thought, that's all right, it's just the universe, saying it's not meant to be. And then she texted me after the Manx and was like, if you want to come along, the space is free now. And I was like, amazing. So brilliant, dream come true again. So hopefully we get the race this time. I just literally put a rear wheel in the R1 and I'm sending it off tonight. So hopefully, we get to go there again.
Right, we'll talk about that in a little bit and about all the preparations for that. But let's talk about MGP 2025. And obviously, I mean, just a huge, huge moment because you got your first ever podium in the Super Sport race. And you'll be glad to know, Ryan, we can have a little bit of a listen to that as well.
Oh, look at that. It's number 8 and number 9, Michael Garn. He's in the 120 club. Ryan Whitehall in the 120 club. Wow. Martin Bullock is going to be busy. 18 minutes, 46.42, 120.5. And number 9, Ryan Whitehall, confirmed in third, 2 seconds back.
Go over to the third placed Ryan Whitehall now, who is also really celebrating with everybody, having lots of photographs. Ryan, that was quite a celebration when you were turned into this enclosure.
Oh, literally, I was thinking on the way in, excuse me, sorry.
So apologies for that language. It's understandable, though. We'll let you away with that.
Yeah, I was thinking on the way in, what I'd say if I got on the podium, and then after the last couple of nights ago, I thought it wouldn't happen, but it's just been the last 5 years of my life. It's just been just so hard, and
you're in the 120 club as well.
Apparently so, yeah. I just want to say, my best mate George, I can't above everyone else, my best mate George he's been there since day one, and he's just built every single bike. My beautiful girlfriend Carol, the rest of the WR Racing boys, all my sponsors, friends, family. Oh, I've broken up again.
You've got to say hello to your mum as well.
Oh, Mum.
I think she'll be quite proud of this one. Huge congratulations, well done.
I'm over the moon. I love you, Mum.
Oh, honestly, Ryan, if you could just encapsulate joy in a short audio clip, I think that was it there. I have never seen anybody so happy to be in that enclosure.
Oh, yeah, I'm welling up now, even listening back to it. But yeah, I know it's the best day of my life, and that's up there. It was just, you don't expect it, and then for it to happen, you just think, I remember on the ferry, and I'm thinking, I wonder what I'll say in front of the radio when I get my podium, and I truly believed it was going to happen, and then when it does happen, you're like, nah, this isn't happening.
Becoming the 34th member of the Tommy Klukas Club, that 120.58 mile lap on the final lap. I mean, literally, you are going to be in the history books. Yeah, I don't even know what happened. I didn't do anything different for last year. I think, to be fair, as angry as I was at Michael Garn at the time, because he might have cost me second, I don't know. I think I was pushing on so hard because he kept passing me back. So I think that's probably why I got into it. And yeah, to have that little bit of paper that says, my name, but looking back, it's actually more impressive that what Tommy did, because he did it on, in like 2004. That would have been on one of the old style R6s, so I should be going faster. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, amazing. Chuffed to bits with it. And it must be really hard when you've had something like that, you've had that success, and you just want to celebrate it, I guess, with your girlfriend Carol, the team as well. But actually, you've still got to focus on the job in hand, because you still had more racing to do. And the other race that we're going to hear a little clip of now is when you missed out on a podium by, we can call it literally a fraction of a second.
I know.
Would you like to have a listen to this as well?
Yeah, go on, yeah.
More machines will wait to arrive at the bungalow, but the big news here at Ramsey Head was that Kevin Canny had closed down that gap ever so slightly. Do we have a bit of a twist in the tail? We'll have to find out. Back to the grandstand.
Twist in the tail could be for the final podium spot. It's Ryan Whitehall who's definitely on the move. He's brought it down as he went through Glen Helen from 8.7 to 5.4, and then to Ramsey it was 4.089, and up at the bungalow, Chris Boyd.
0.4 of a second, less than half a second. Jamie Williams leads Ryan Whitehall by in what we think will be the battle for the final podium place. We're waiting on Kevin Canny to arrive at the bungalow. But yeah, 0.4 of a second between Williams and Whitehall on the final lap at the bungalow.
No other rider for Cronknamona, but here's Jamie. And there's Jamie across the line. Again, they're going to have to hang on to him because it's Ryan Whitehall we're keeping a little eye on as he come across the Cronknamona split. And we'll just switch the screens to the grandstand. Ryan Whitehall's up to second. Ryan Whitehall has got himself up to second place on the 9 machine. A couple of hundredths ahead only of Jamie Williams. That's at Cronknamona. We have a little look up the road there now for the Isle of Wight rider. Can he make it 2 podiums on the Supersport bikes in the Senior Manx Grand Prix? Of course, he finished third in the first one. Chris Boyd has actually got his own little stopwatch out here, just reading on something, giving me a little countdown on this one. Chris?
It's 2 minutes 20, the start interval between them. We're just coming up to 2 minutes now, so he's got 20 seconds to wait, as Chris Cook, to find out whether or not he's held on. 2 minutes and 5 coming.
Ryan Whitehall, he's lost it by 8 thousandths of a second. Jamie Williams confirmed as second. And then Jamie Williams just got third place, Chris Boyd, by 0.0078 of a second. Nothing at all. Literally the blink of an eye. 7/1000ths of a second. Ryan Whitehall, we'd sensed that it was Dave Christian first spotted that he'd shut that gap down to about 4.5 seconds, I think, at Glen Helen. Then he's reduced it all the way around. And Beth, I think, has Ryan Whitehall, who's missed out on a podium by 7/1000ths of a second.
Just saying, missed out on a podium by 7/1000ths of a second.
Oh, no, I come in and I looked at them and I went, me? They're like, no. And I thought, wow, I couldn't have given any more than that. That was, my best ride of my whole entire life. So I did exactly, didn't miss an apex, didn't miss a gear. So, I think he well deserves it with Jamie after everything he's been through. So best wishes to Jamie, and congratulations to the rest of them as well.
And as we know, there's a whole team behind you that make this happen. Obviously, you had the pit stop, which went really well. The machine's been running brilliantly. And the conditions played ball too.
Yeah, it was almost too hot. We were just coming out of Hilbury and everyone was waving and the thing was just spinning out the rear. And I thought, right, that's it, I'm having it. And it wasn't enough. So, fair play to Jamie. Unbelievable ride. And, yeah, I'm going to go home and smoke a cigarette and drink a beer.
Did you have pit boards out there then?
Pit boards. Well, there was one dude, shout out to him, David, I think his name is, who was just pitting for me. I never met him down at Braddon Bridge, so he kept putting P6, and I thought I was leading.
Well, final time then, just say hello to your mum.
Yeah, hello Mum, I love you. You better be listening to this one.
I bet she is. Thank you so much, Ryan. Well done.
Cheers, thank you, bye.
Ryan, I hope she was listening. Honestly, if there was a prize for being the most sportsman-like, you would have absolutely been on the top step, because that must be such a difficult thing when you've just had what must be a huge disappointment and then somebody sticks a microphone in your face.
I think when you come in, it's one of the few places in the world where you kind of don't mind what happens as long as you get back safe and all your mates get back safe. And Jamie's just such a fantastic rider to be anywhere near him. Yeah, I never expected it. So to lose to him and Canny, and didn't lose sleep over it. You know, I was just happy to get in safe and do another 120 mile an hour lap. And yeah, it was great. I was happy.
And it's become a bit of a thing, hasn't it, saying hello to your mum? There's something really lovely about it. And I really want next year to see you with some leathers that say hello mum on the back of them. But what does she make of all of this and what you've achieved this year?
She's one of my biggest supporters. Yeah, I don't know. I think she loves, you know, what racing gives me and sort of understands what goes through my head. You know, she spent a lot of time with me when I was injured, and, you know, I was living at my nan's house at the time, and she would come in and speak to me. So we've had a lot. Me and my mum have always been very, very close. You know, she was a single mum when I was younger, and we grew up in a little council flat. And so me and mum have always had that real sort of like real close bond. So she understands why I do it and understands, you know, that things can happen. And yeah, I just love saying hello to her, and she's got a pretty hectic life, my mum, so she can't always get to all the races and listen in, so I always give her something to listen to when she does get a chance.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we love your mum as well, even though we haven't met her yet. But in terms of your sort of growing up, obviously you grew up on the Isle of Wight, so you're kind of used to that island mentality. What is it like as a place? Do they follow your racing?
Yeah, I get loads of support from the island, and, you know, maybe the island road racing wouldn't be in the forefront of people's mind. A lot of people that are into bikes would be into the TT and road racing, MotoGP, World Superbike, things like that. But I feel like I've sort of brought the Irish road racing scene down there a little bit, and the Manx Grand Prix maybe that they wouldn't have been to watch and things like that. So it's lovely. There's a group of lads that come up to the Manx this year, and blokes I never would have met anywhere else, and their friends are like my friends at school and things, and they come, "What, Ryan?" And I always spot them out on the track, and I'm so proud to represent the island, even though I don't live there full time. I'm back there all the time, and it might not be the centre of road racing, but they certainly get so much support from people that otherwise, you know, I wouldn't have ever known, really. So
that's really lovely. And we talked a little bit about Macau this year and the fact that you're literally putting a bike to head off there today. In terms of how everything else is going preparation wise, how are things at the moment? Where are you up to?
It kind of all went a bit mad. Me and Carol are away for a few days, and, you know, it's like our first holiday since I started racing, so everything came at once. And then I got the email saying that the bike's got to be there for the 17th of October. So luckily, a friend of Lee's, Ben, he's offering to take the bike down, so big shout out to him. I'll have to text you the name of his business, because I can't remember what his business is. Well, I'll give him a big shout out. He's offering to take the bike down for free, so that's made life a lot easier. But yeah, just the general getting everything sorted, start permissions and flights and things. Yeah, it's a pretty mental time. But
how exciting though, going on holiday. I mean, this is unheard of for a racer, I think. Where are you going?
Oh, we're out to America. So I booked it last year for Carol. I put it on a credit card, and then this year it come around and I realised I've actually got to go. So that's made life pretty difficult for the foreseeable. But no, hopefully we can make it work. And yeah, I think she deserves it after all the sort of racing and stuff she's been coming to and living in the back of a mouldy old caravan that I made her buy. But no, she deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound terribly glamorous when you put it like that, but it really does highlight, I think, the sacrifices that you do have to make if you want to take this sport seriously.
Yeah, like it's the physical sacrifices maybe that I've not. Yeah, I've had a couple of accidents, but lads have been a lot worse for me. But I think it's just the financial side of it. You know, it doesn't seem to get any easier. I don't know when that knock on the door comes or that phone call where things start to get a bit easier. But yeah, up until now and at the minute, it's just financially is not the easiest of situations trying to compete at a reasonably high level.
And you mentioned, I mean, you have got some sponsors and some support in that way. How easy do you find it asking for that?
Do you know what? People will think, I'm on Facebook all the time doing names on the helmet and names on the leathers and things, and people, are so good. Like, if you look at any of my Facebook posts, there's like 100 sponsors underneath it, and anyone that gives me anything, whether it's a £50 note or, a couple £100, I try and put their name on there and just give them a bit of appreciation. And, I think people think think I'm probably rolling in it, but that's just anyone that gives me anything, I just put their name in there because I just want people to know how grateful I am for it. Whether it's buying a t-shirt or a raffle ticket or whatever we do to raise money, I'm so fortunate to have so many support.
And again, this is the thing that just constantly surprises me, is that as much as you are focused on getting out to your next event, that constant worry of where the money's coming from to pay for it must just be overwhelming sometimes.
Well, I got a mint credit score. So if I run out of money, I'll just go get another credit card. But you have to pay them off eventually. So that's kind of what I've always had to try and balance, is, balancing your finances. And if I'd started off with 30 or 40 grand, it would have been all right because I would have had a float. But, it's just not the way life goes when you're having accidents and things like that. No, fortunately, I'm pretty savvy with it all now. I've been doing it for a few years. So I'll borrow some and then transfer it to this card. And then winter work like a dog to try and get it all paid off. But everyone's in the same boat. Working class boys at race. We're all exactly the same.
So then Macau is the next big event. 2026 then, what's on the horizon for you?
Well, I don't know. I've been trying to get into TT for ages and then going quite well at the Manx. I was thinking maybe I'd just stay at the Manx and maybe try and get another podium. But I've always said, I'm not a trophy hunter. And I think when you get to a certain level, you should move aside and let other people progress. Yeah, I'd love to go back and have a real shot at maybe winning it, or if the stars lined up, the ducks lined up. But I do think more so I'd love to go to the TT and do it on the big bike, and it's a more competitive bike, a newer bike, and I'm riding it more often, so I'd love that to be an opportunity, but we'll just have to see what they say.
And have you put an entry in, or how does that all work?
I've no idea. I was speaking to him a little while ago. Last week I was speaking to him, and I sort of said I'd like to ride a big bike there, and they seemed pretty not against it, not for it. So I don't know. I feel like I'm ready to go on a big bike, and I know it'll be a big step up, but I just, I can't afford to run a good 600 and a good big bike. So at the minute, I'd rather concentrate on the big bike. I've got a reasonably well put together one now in the shed. It's always been the dream, is to go to the TT, and I mean the cherry on the cake would be to go on the big bike.
So we'll wait and see with that one. The other thing that you are brilliant at is keeping up to date on socials. You've got a YouTube channel as well?
Yeah, I've got a little WR Racing YouTube channel. It's sort of progressed a little bit further than I thought. I kind of make videos on everything now, racing wise, and I love it. I get loads of people, loads of comments, kind comments on there and things, and it's very much just whatever. There's no real plot to it. We just film whatever's going on, and very grassroots style stuff. But people can check that out if they want. It's always nice to get a few more people watching it and showing them what goes on behind the scenes. Well,
just remind us where people can find that then.
Yeah, I don't actually know what the URL is for it, but if you just type in WR Racing or Road Racing with Ryan or Ryan White or something on YouTube, you'll find it. It'll come up. It's got the WR Racing logo as the icon, so you can find that. And there's a load of stuff going all the way back to sort of 2021.
Wonderful. We'll put the link to that on the podcast page, and presumably you're on Facebook and Instagram as well, are you?
Yeah, Facebook, just Ryan Whitehall, WR Racing, that should come up with something. And Instagram's Ryan Whitehall 361. So give us a follow, and we'll try and keep everyone updated.
Wonderful. Well, it's been brilliant talking to you. I hope you and Carol have the best time in America. If I don't see a photograph with some Mickey Mouse ears, I'll be disappointed. And obviously, to end this, we have to do a final shout out to your mum, don't we?
Of course. Yeah, Mum, I love you lots, and I hope you're keeping all right back home on the Isle of Wight, and I'll see you in a month after America and China.
Brilliant. All the best in Macau, Ryan. We'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Beth. Thank you so much.
Ryan Whitehall, who genuinely has to be one of the nicest people in the paddock. The person that he was talking about who's getting his bike to Macau is Ben Butterworth at Bike Move. And Ryan just wanted to say a huge thanks to him, as he's hopefully saving the day getting the bikes down to London to be shipped over to Macau. As ever, the links to the social media for Ryan are on the podcast page. The link to his YouTube channel is on there as well, so do take a look at those. Journey to a Dream is supported by the Andreas Racing Association here on the Isle of Man. Do take a look at their website. I know the season is pretty much over, but you could find out how you can get involved maybe for 2026. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, my email address is bethesby@manxradio.com, so I'd love to hear from you. Till next time then, take care. Bye-bye.